Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel. I hope you're doing well. I have big news to share with you. Ripple's legal team has filed for the SEC to hand over details on whether any of their officials have been holding XRP or trading XRP. This is a big chess move on the part of Ripple, guys. And we know the SEC has been balking on handing over internal documents. We have a meeting this week coming up with Judge Sarah Netburn for the SEC to explain their BS and say why they haven't handed over those internal documents and communications to Ripple, guys. So I think this is one of the main reasons why they will issue a settlement and force a settlement, because they don't want to be exposed. We know of the corruption and the conflicts of interest with Jay Clayton and William Hinman. We also have a video going back to 2018 that was found of Congressman Warren Davidson on CNBC talking about the SEC and their clarity around Ethereum. And he's not saying it's William Hinman's opinion or William Hinman was drunk when he said this. He's saying the SEC. So everybody was under the premise that this is from the SEC. This is big. And more evidence is piling up here, making the SEC look bad than they already are, right? We're also going to talk about Avanti Bank, Caitlin Long's Avanti Bank out of Wyoming. Is filing or it's looking to work with the Federal Reserve. This is big for the crypto market, right? Because if you have crypto banks, digital banks working with the Federal Reserve, oh my goodness, guys, you can imagine the adoption, the prices that are coming in the future. We're also going to talk about Morgan Stanley bought a significant amount of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Before we get into it, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Guys, this video is brought to you by OKCoin Crypto Exchange, where you can buy, sell, and trade your favorite cryptocurrencies, and you don't have to pay high fees. OKCoin has low fees. You can also stake your crypto and keep 100% of the rewards. You don't have to pay any fees like you do with other exchanges. Sign up with OKCoin, link in the description. Right now, Bitcoin is approaching what looks like $50,000. It's at $49,571, looking pretty good, but I'm still cautiously optimistic because I've been showing you guys this weekly chart here showing after 5 green candles, I still want to see a red candle, at least 2 to 3, in a sense of market cycles that there's a correction here, a small correction, building support levels and working our way up. Now, something else here, PlanB, the creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model, provided an updated model here saying the Bitcoin stock to flow model 100K by Christmas, time model diminishing returns, lengthening cycles, 30K. Next month will be key. Note that color overlay is on-chain signal, not time to halving, indicating we are between bottom blue and top red in the line with stock to flow model. So a couple of things. I've talked to you guys about lengthening cycles on this channel, right? That this could play out into 2022. I think you've probably heard me say that. And that's a possibility, right? Because there's no certainties. It would be awesome if Bitcoin hits $100,000 by the end of the year. If it doesn't, and it just hits 80,000, but it does continue the bullish trend into 2022, that's a possibility as well. So we have to be prepared. This is why I tell you guys to have a plan and cash out in stages at different price points, because we don't know what the top is going to be. No one can call the top. These models are awesome, but they're not 100% accurate. We use them as a guide, to look at and play, and plan out what may be coming. So just keep that in mind. And here, Will Clemente had a similar sentiment, who's an on-chain analyst, by the way. He said, in my humble opinion, those who are operating under the assumption of a 4-year cycle are going to be disappointed. If everyone is expecting the same thing, that probably doesn't happen. Not to mention, as Bitcoin grows, it will likely trade more in line with global macro real rates. So that is highly possible, but we'll have to wait and see. Regardless, I have a plan, and I hope you do too. Check out my cash out video below. Know what you're doing, regardless of if you hold Bitcoin or not. But we know the market moves with Bitcoin. Look at what price points you're going to cash out with the altcoins, because it's not going to keep going up forever. There's going to be a blow off top, and then we head into a bear market. That is more of a probability than we keep going up forever, right? Obviously. So just a heads up on that. Anyway, guys, James K. Filan. He is an attorney who's obviously following this Ripple case very closely. He tweeted the following: Ripple defendants file motion to compel the SEC to produce documents showing whether SEC employees were permitted to trade XRP and other digital assets. Oh my goodness. Here he continues saying, the court has given the SEC until September 3rd, 2021 to respond to the Ripple's defendants' motion to compel regarding whether SEC employees were permitted to trade XRP and other digital assets. It was a text-only docket order, meaning no separate written order was filed. This is interesting, guys. And as I said at the beginning of the video, a major chess move on Ripple's part, because we already know the corruption and conflicts of interest with Jay Clayton and William Hinman. Jay Clayton on the Bitcoin side, William Hinman on the Ethereum side. And I'm not going to go through their background. If you don't know by now, you could check out my previous videos. But if they had officials in there shorting or holding or whatever trading, that is a major conflict of interest. And as of public officials, they're not allowed to do that. So they're supposed to represent us. And the SEC is just looking like it's rotten at the, it's like the core of it is just rotten, right? Now, I want to make sure I exclude Hester Peirce and Elad Roisman from this. I think they have been open-minded. They have been very open to speaking with XRP holders and the crypto community. Obviously, I interviewed Hester Peirce about 5 months ago. Where's Gary Gensler? I've tried to get an interview with him. Zero silence. I've emailed his people. Zero. Nothing. He had no response. And I think he probably doesn't want to speak to you and I, right? But I've said it before. Do they think we're stupid? Because we can see a lot of these things here online of what has taken place at what time point and what they've been doing. And I don't know if they're still operating like we're in the 80s or early 90s before the internet, where you and I couldn't congregate like this and collaborate like this and review data that's been archived and information that's been archived on the web. But now we can, and it's clear as day what the hell is going on here with the SEC. There's a lot of conflicts of interest, guys, and corruption, I think. And it looks like Gary Gensler wants to continue this trend. So I think this respective motion will be a factor in driving a settlement, because the SEC is actually this week meeting with Judge Sarah Netburn to answer why they haven't handed over the documents the court told them to hand over. Where are the documents? They keep dragging their feet. That's because they have a lot to hide, my friends. If they were fully transparent and they were doing everything right and they represented you and I, which they're supposed to, they wouldn't worry. They'd be like, here you go. We have nothing to hide. But clearly, my friends, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what is happening here. Let me give you some details here from the letter that was sent to Judge Sarah Netburn. We write on behalf of defendants Ripple Labs Incorporated, Bradley Garlinghouse, and Christian Larson, together the defendants, to request a local rule 37.2 conference regarding the SEC's refusal to produce certain information necessary to complete defendants' understanding of the SEC's trading policies governing digital assets and whether the SEC permitted its own employees to trade XRP. Specifically, defendants seek production of anonymized documents reflecting trading pre-clearance decisions with regard to XRP, Bitcoin, and Ether, or alternatively, for that information to be produced in aggregate form. Defendants also seek certifications concerning SEC employees' XRP holdings, again, either with redactions of personal information or in aggregate form. We met and conferred with the SEC on the issue on July 8th, July 15th, August 18th, and August 25th without progress. Sounds like the SEC has a lot to hide. They don't want to disclose this. In June 2021, this court granted defendants' motion to compel the SEC to produce its trading policies regarding digital assets. Your Honor found that the defendants' request met the threshold for relevance. The SEC accordingly produced to the defendants a January 16, 2018 policy entitled Ethics Guidance Regarding Digital Assets that took effect on January 19, 2018. And the policy shows that until January 19, 2018, the SEC had not adopted or imposed any policy restricting SEC officials from trading in digital assets, which is consistent with the SEC not having a view digital assets as securities. Yeah, I think we know that, right? They waited 8 years. They piecemealed it. William Hinman came out after meeting with the folks at Ethereum, and he's saying Ethereum is not a security. Now he's like, oh, that was just my personal opinion. I was drunk, you know. I was hungover, man. The last night I was drinking a storm. Yeah, okay. Whatever excuse you want to come up with, man. But clear as day that everybody was under the understanding and the premise that you were speaking on behalf of the SEC, even Congressman Warren Davidson and the people at CNBC. Shout out to Digital Asset Investor, who tweeted the following with the video, and I'll play a clip. The SEC led Warren Davidson and CNBC to believe that Bill Hinman's Ethereum speech was the SEC position. This video is from June 21st, 2018. Just days after the speech. Hinman has now said in court that it was only his personal views. Why did the SEC mislead Congress and the public? Let me play a clip here.
What's the bottom line here, Congressman? What do you want to see happen? What needs to happen?
Well, good morning. And I think the big thing is we need a light touch regulatory framework that provides certainty for the ICO market. The SEC has started to weigh in just last week. Bill Hinman communicated that Ether was considered a commodity, not a security. And so there's been some concern as the SEC started to regulate that everything starts looking like a security to a securities regulator. Is your product that is going to be a security, or if it looks a little different, like Ether and Bitcoin have been determined to be essentially commodities.
The SEC has taken a position, right, following William Hinman's respective speech. Anybody who saw this video or William Hinman's speech would understand he was operating under the SEC, and he kept saying we and our. He wasn't saying I did this. He said we and our, right? And remember, that speech is on the SEC's website. If they wanted to distance themselves from it, why do they have it on the website? Anybody who was, Googling something who has nothing to do with this lawsuit, doesn't know anything, they will come across that and, oh, this is the SEC stance. This is what William Hinman said. He's a part of the SEC, right? This is, once again, I keep saying this, Gary Gensler and the SEC think we're stupid, that we don't know what we're doing here, that we don't understand simple law, politics, human nature and behavior here. We don't understand English. Like, come on, right? This is just ridiculous. And another reason why I think a settlement may be around the corner, guys, is that we have the folks at Empower Oversight, which are whistleblowers and research, and they do a lot of investigation around things, which I like. We need to keep an eye on our government and our officials clearly, because they're supposed to represent us, but we know corruption and all kinds of things are happening, right? So they are seeking or doing a FOIA request to get information on conflicts of interest in cryptocurrency at the SEC. Another avenue where they're getting the pressure, and it's getting a lot of coverage. Check this out. This is an article on Finbold, and it's talking about the same thing, that Empire Oversight, a nonprofit, nonpartisan educational organization for enhancing independent oversight, submitted the request through the Freedom of Information Act, so FOIA, and they're going after the SEC. Want to know what you guys been doing with crypto? Is there conflicts of interest? I like this. And if you believe in freedom in America, in the Constitution, you would want this. We're not trying to pick on people, but rather, if there's smoke there, there's possibly fire. If you have nothing to hide, show us. Show us. And that is what Ripple is trying to go after the SEC to get this information. What do they have to hide? We know they have a lot to hide, though, right? We know. So I think, guys, a settlement may be around the corner. Maybe we see one next month in September, which is right around the corner. Maybe not, right? We just don't know, but it's looking like the pressure is on the SEC now, big time. So, guys, Caitlin Long, big news here. Avanti Bank. You guys have seen my interview with Caitlin. I interviewed her a couple times going back over a couple of years, and I have an interview scheduled with her coming up in October. You don't want to miss that. She's a great leader in the crypto market out of Wyoming. Check this out. Today, Avanti Bank confirmed a report in today's Wall Street Journal that it filed an application to become, check this out, a Federal Reserve member bank. Wow, guys. Wow. And this is the Wall Street Journal. Crypto firms want Fed payment systems access and banks are resisting. And you wonder why, the likes of Janet Yellen and Elizabeth Warren are going nuts, because we know they're lobbied by the banks. They're trying to, the big banks want crypto in a sense of they want to control it, and they don't want like crypto bank startups to do well because it's going to take business away from them. So Caitlin Long continues here. This means Avanti Bank formally submitted to what it had already informally accepted, namely the very same regulatory capital compliance and supervisory examination standards that apply to traditional banks. It also means that Avanti Bank is seeking federal supervision directly by the Fed itself. In addition to Avanti's existing regulator, Wyoming Division of Banking, Avanti's Fed membership application is distinct from its prior application for payment system access filed in October 2020. In other words, Avanti is the first digital asset bank to seek regulation by the Fed itself. Given everything happening in DC with crypto regulation, this is important. There's a bigger story to tell, but out of respect for the process, I won't say more at this juncture. So I'm hoping to get those details in my interview with her. And she continued saying, ironically, the bank industry's lobbyists keep saying crypto needs to be a subject to higher standards than traditional banks, but their own banks are getting into crypto too. So it's really funny to watch the bank lobbyists tie themselves in knots. I've talked about this, right? Because remember when the infrastructure bill, we saw that, and I talked about, Janet Yellen getting paid $7 million for a speech by the Citibank, and it's clearly she's being lobbied by these banks. And you may say, well, aren't the banks getting in crypto? Why are they lobbying against or trying to get people to put stuff that hurts crypto? Well, guys, they know crypto takes power away from them. It will take business away from them. They want certain parts of it, and that's what they're getting in right now, right? Trading it because their clients are asking for it. And if they don't comply, meet their clients' needs, those clients are going to leave and move their funds. So they are in a tough spot. They need to meet client demands, but also they're like, man, this crypto stuff is going to take, DeFi is going to take a lot of our business, lending and borrowing and so forth, right? In addition, people will put more of their money in crypto versus other assets, which the banks are very much tied into. So this is the problem they find themselves in, now why they're lobbying hard to, okay, slow crypto down. We want to control it, right? And put as much regulations on it. So it's funny, like she's saying. So she said, and even funnier, my pals at various banks keep calling to ask for my help with crypto, while at the same time, their own lobbyists are attacking us with falsehoods and trying to slow down our regulatory process. Hypocrisy much. Last, here's an interesting exchange. Today's Wall Street Journal, I learned something new in this tweet. So I'm not going to go through that, but it's about the Fed and the OCC and Brian Brooks and so forth. And by the way, I'll be interviewing Brian Brooks soon, hopefully. And I shared the tweet with you guys yesterday. He agreed on Twitter to do an interview with me. But it's a very nuanced thing that's happening here. It's really complicated in a way, but I like what Caitlin's doing here, guys. And this is the future. They can't stop progress and innovation. So we have to be patient. They're going to fight as hard as they can, but once again, they will have to capitulate. Finally, Morgan Stanley funds have picked up over $1 million, 1 million shares in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust as institutional adoption of crypto mounts. This is a big name on Wall Street, guys. Great example, but at the same time, I know many of them are lobbying to try to slow down crypto because crypto's coming to take their lunch. And yesterday we talked about Bill Miller. He bought 1.5 million shares of GBTC. This was according to an SEC filing. These big players are buying the dip. They are buying the dip clearly, right? They know higher prices are coming. Even if, things don't go according to the 4-year cycle here, like the stock to flow model, like I said at the beginning of the video, it might be a lengthening cycle. Maybe it happens in 2022. We don't know yet, but we'll have to see what happens. But nevertheless, they're buying the dips, and I hope you are too. Not financial advice. Just I'm buying the dips where I can. Obviously, I'm not putting my life savings in crypto because there's a risk, regardless of whichever investment it is, stocks, real estate, whatever. You don't want to put, all your money in that, your life savings. You want to put money you're willing to lose. That is the mindset you got to have, because this is volatile. I do believe it's here to stay. It's beyond the point of where they can try to kill it. It's beyond that, right? I think we see it. So just keep these things in mind. Have a plan, though. That's the important thing, at which price points you're going to take profits at. So guys, what do you think about this news? It will be unprecedented and pretty crazy if the SEC officials were trading XRP and all the corruption, but it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't, because when I saw what Jay Clayton and William Hinman did, I was like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. These guys are doing this stuff. And so it wouldn't surprise me Gary Gensler owns XRP. Right? That would not surprise me. I think I'm past that point of being shocked at what the SEC is going to do, because I think, once again, it's clear what's going on there. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.